Oh, well, driving home from work, and I forgot that I haven't done my round 2 predictions. My round 1 was horrid. My Toronto Maple Leafs blew another Game 7 third period lead. Lost to the Boston Bruins again. So let's do a little bit of recap, and then it'll build into my round 2 predictions on my way back to get my son from nursery. So we'll start in the Western Conference, and let's go with the game that just happened. So we had Dallas Stars versus the Vegas Golden Knights. I think I chose Dallas in 7, and Dallas won in 7, which is great. Vegas loaded up at the deadline and lost. Phenomenal. So we got Dallas winning, and I was right. One of the only times I was right. I messed up a lot. And they're going to play the Colorado Avalanche, who beat the Winnipeg Jets in 5 games. I picked Winnipeg in 7, so there's a wrong. So we got Dallas versus Colorado. We got this all-round team versus, you got the big boys with Rantanen, McKinnon, and McCarr. But the rest of the team showed up and absolutely dominated Winnipeg. Georgiev outplayed Hellebuck. Now for Colorado to beat Dallas, I think Georgiev doesn't need to outplay Ottinger. I think he just has to give Colorado a few key saves. A few saves of, shots that are, high potential of going in. He needs to make a couple of those saves. And Colorado will pull out this series. I think mainly probably because I want McKinnon to make a conference final again. Just because he's an absolute nutter. I think Colorado is going to beat the Dallas Stars in 6 games. 6 games. Dallas is a great team. They just had a big series against Vegas. Colorado's rested, and I think Colorado takes it in 6 games. That potent offense, their solid defense, and Georgiev, he's in a zone right now. He played better than Hellebuck. Got to go with Colorado. Then you have the Edmonton Oilers beating the LA Kings. I picked Edmonton. I'm not sure I picked 6 or 7. I can't remember, but I picked Edmonton, so that was awesome. And I picked Vancouver in 6, which they did against Nashville, which is cool. So we get all Canadian Western Conference semifinal, Edmonton versus Vancouver. Now, if you look at the start of the year, Vancouver dominated the Edmonton Oilers in that first game. I know McDavid didn't like that question, yesterday or the day before about that first game. But this time, after watching Vancouver against Nashville, and Vancouver getting hemmed in and only getting like 12 shots in one game against Nashville, I don't even know if Demko at his peak could stop the onslaught that is about to run roughshod on the Vancouver Canucks. And he's hurt. I think Edmonton is going to just pile it on offensively against Vancouver. I think Vancouver will get a few goals on the counterattack. I expect a couple high-scoring games and then a couple low-scoring games, kind of like the LA Kings series, to be fair, with Edmonton. But I think Edmonton takes this, and I'm going to take the Edmonton Oilers in 6 games. Edmonton beats Vancouver. We set up a McKinnon versus McDavid Western Conference final. Then we go to the East. You have one that's already started, the New York Rangers versus Carolina Hurricanes. Carolina, they beat the New York Islanders in 5 games. New York, I picked Carolina to win, but I think I picked them to win in 7. And then you have the New York Islanders, who beat the Washington Capitals in 4. I picked them as a sweep, so that's a win there. New York versus Carolina, I think this is going to be a good series. I think this is going to go 7, and I think the New York Rangers are going to win. And it's probably because they won Game 1. They won Game 1. It'll come down to, in my eyes, Shesterkin making that 1 or 2 more saves than Freddie Anderson in the opposite net. And that's how I got it. I think New York, just from top to bottom, are just going to keep on rolling. Carolina will get their licks in, will get their wins. But in the end, New York wins it at home to go to the Eastern Conference Final. Then we move on to Florida Panthers, who dominated the Tampa Bay Lightning in 5 games, and the Boston Bruins, who beat my Toronto Maple Leafs in Game 7 in overtime when David Pastrnak finally showed up, scored a miraculous goal on an amazing play with him and Lindholm. Toronto was flat-footed. Let's not relive it. But Boston just came through. They were up 3-1. They almost blew another 3-1 series lead. They didn't. So they'll have the energy going into Florida. are going against Florida. Florida will have the energy because they're rested. But in the end, Boston, they took their licks against the Leafs. It was a high-hitting series. It was a strong series, defensive series. But Florida is on another level, and I don't know if Boston's ready for it. I think no matter if it was the Leafs or Boston, they were in for some big trouble and would have to go into some deep, dark waters to beat the Florida Panthers, and I think it's the same thing. I am going to give Boston a game or two. I think Jeremy Swayman can steal a couple. But eventually, if Florida can get in tight and pass those blocking D that Boston have, if they can get in the slot at all, Reinhardt's going to get to the slot. And if they can do what Toronto didn't, which was score more than once on the power play, it's their series. I want to say Florida in 5, but you know what? That's me not giving the Bruins enough credit for what they bring. Florida Panthers win it in 6 games. So that means our Eastern Conference Final, we're going to have Florida versus New York. Western Conference Final, we're going to have Colorado versus Edmonton. Comment down below your thoughts. Who do you think's winning in this round 2? By how many games? Who do you want to win? Ideally, I do want Florida and New York and Edmonton and Colorado to win. And I think that's what's going to happen. Comment down below your thoughts. If only Toronto could have won. I guess I'll just keep on dreaming. Maybe next year. Take care, everyone. Go Leafs, go.